Welcome to the garden. Today I'm going to be harvesting some cilantro to preserve. And this you can actually freeze. That's how I choose to preserve it. Dried cilantro just loses too much of its flavor. I'm just after these really nice broad leaves. When they flower, the leaves are a little bit thinner like dill. Those are perfectly fine to harvest, but I want those to fuel these flowers and hopefully produce some seeds. So these larger leaves are just going to have the best flavor. And look at the size of some of these. I mean, this is like one leaf, and then it's got two little offshoots and two little more, and then two more down here. It's just beautiful. I'm just going to grab the whole thing. Down here is that older growth. And I think this one was cut back just by deer, and it actually produced a lot more leaves that way. Usually they just produce a few broad leaves and then they start producing flowers. But if you cut them back, they'll produce a whole lot more leaves. So we'll harvest one last leaf here, and then I'm going to leave the rest just to flower. This year the flowers are incredibly pink. They're usually kind of white with maybe just a touch of pink. But these ones are like hot pink. It's beautiful. And here's all the cilantro we managed to harvest. Really nice big handful. So you can rinse these off if you like, but make sure they're dry before you freeze them. So I broke off some of the longer stems just so that it'd fit in the bag a little bit easier. And then you want to stack your leaves. And again, you want to make sure they're dry. So if you've rinsed them off, just pat them dry very lightly, set them out for a few minutes. Otherwise, they will stick together once they're frozen. So we'll make a few nice, neat little piles here. And we'll just use a little bag. You can label it if you like. And we'll start to fill in our leaves. They actually sit pretty flat too in the freezer, so they don't take up a lot of space. It's a really, really easy way to preserve almost any herb in the garden. You can see how nice and flat they are. If we were just to throw them in all like this, it would be a big mess. So I do like to go and individually stack them, one on top of the other, just nice and neat. You could also try and stack them in little individual servings and then portion them off separately if you like. Here's the last couple leaves. So let's get them in. We can just lightly press out some of that air. And because they're all stacked, we're not actually bending the leaves, we're just pressing out a little bit of that air. And there we have it. This really preserves that flavor well, although they do lose their color and their texture. They will turn dark green once they're frozen, and then once you thaw them out, they might get a little mushy. But that's perfect for guacamole or salsa, really anything you need it for. So I hope you give this a go in your garden. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.